Good morning, everybody. Nowadays, we are handling the chapter Mars in the Seventh House by R.K. Narayanan. This is our fifth session. In the last few classes, we have discussed Narayan's love towards girls and his married life and his life as a reporter. Now he is working in the newspaper, The Justice. Let's see what happens now. In the last class, we have seen that Narayanan met an unhappy experience with the editor of the newspaper. Once his payment from the justice was delayed for about 3 months. So he wrote a letter to the editor saying that he was a writer in contract with newspapers and magazines in America and England. He was not used to delay in payment. Then the editor wrote back to say that if he had been so imminent, a delay in the payment should not have made him angry. He added that Narayan was trying to eke out a living and he was simply boasting. That irritated Narayan. He wanted to leave the job, but only because of money's sake he has to continue the job. He says that I continued to send in my reports of the turbulent city Mysore and off and on received a check from the justice. That means he nowadays also he is sending reports to the justice and the payment is also given. But I voluntarily stopped this work on the day I received a cable from my friend Purna, who was now at Oxford. Novel taken. He got a letter from his friend Purna, who is now in Oxford. What was that? Graham Greene, responsible. My friend and neighbor Purna, who used to hop over the wall and come to listen to my reading of Swami and Friends, had left in August 1931 for Oxford, promising to find a publisher for my book while he was there. Purna was a friend and neighbor of R.K. Narayan. Purna used to hop over the wall and came to listen the story. What was the story? Swami and Friends. And it is promised that he would find a publisher from Oxford. Then, when I had completed the novel, I faithfully dispatched it to Allen and Unwin, and when it was returned to another publisher and then another. When the novel was completed, Narayanan sent it to Allen and Unwin, that was a famous publishers, but unfortunately he got it back. Then he sent to another publishers like that. But what happened? I had got used to getting back my manuscript with unfailing regularity once every 6 weeks, 2 weeks onward journey, 2 weeks sojourn on a publisher's desk, and 2 weeks homeward journey with a rejection slip pinned into it. All in all, provided me with 6 weeks of hope. That means he has to wait for 6 weeks for what? To get back his copies. Sometimes it may be on the editor's table, sometimes it may be on the traveling process. Wherever it be, he has lost a minimum of 6 weeks. He has to wait for 6 weeks to know whether the publisher accepted it or not. The last publisher to return it to me was Dent, and I had advised them in my covering letter to forward the manuscript when rejected to Purna at Exeter College, Oxford. I sent a parallel letter to Purna advising him to weight the manuscript with a stone and drown it in the Thames. We have already seen that most of the works were rejected by most of the publishers and it was returned to R.K. Narayana. So he was totally disappointed and the last publisher which rejected his work was Dent. He had advised them in the covering letter that to forward the manuscript that was also rejected to Purna at Exeter College, Oxford. But Purna was keeping on giving that manuscript to other publishers. R.K. Narayanan told Purna that if it is going on like this, he has to do one thing, that is, he has to weight the manuscript with a stone and drown it in the Thames. Thames is a river. After trying most of the publishers, he wrote to me, to the Thames, no need to worry, maybe never, do not despair. He gave relief to R.K. Narayanan and says that no need to be hurried, maybe never, it may never be published, but no need to be disappointed. That means do not despair. This went on while I was spinning out measurable news for Justice. Graham Greene was living in Oxford at that time. Purna, by some instinct, approached him and gave him my manuscript. An introduction thus begun established a personal interest and a friendship between us that continues to this day. Graham Greene recommended my novel to Hamish Hamilton, who accepted it immediately. Finally, Purna gave that letter to Graham Greene, who was the neighbor of Purna. Then he accepted the manuscript and he gave it to the publisher Hamish Hamilton. They accepted it immediately because of the recommendation of Graham Greene. That introduction established a personal interest between and a friendship between them. That friendship continues till the day. That means the day when he was writing this autobiographical story. Purna's cable made me gasp with joy and surprise. He was totally surprised. I saw myself in a new role as a novelist. Now only he saw himself as a novelist and he has taken care that role well. I could see the relief in my wife's face, although she did not want to be too demonstrative about it. Both Narayanan and his wife also got relief because of the Purna's influence and thus Graham Greene's influence on Hamish Hamilton, and at the end to the publication of the manuscript. The first thing I did on receiving the cable was to write the injustice that I would not be able to supply them any more news from Mysore, although the advance from the novel was £20. The next thing he did was informing the justice that he is not able to supply any more news for them from Mysore. That means he is going to resign from the job. He got advance for the novel. It was £20. What was that novel? Anybody knows? That is Swami and Friends. Swami and Friends was published in October 1935. A few reviews were enthusiastic, but it had also no sale. It appeared in the company of record-breaking bestsellers such as The Man, the Unknown and Inside Europe, and was simply flushed outside in the deluge. So much so that Hamish Hamilton rejected his option on my next novel. What we have seen here is Swami and Friends was published and the reviews were so enthusiastic, but it had no sale. It appeared in the company of record-breaking bestsellers like Man, the Unknown and Inside Europe, but simply fleshed out. So Hamish Hamilton was not at all interested to publish his next work. The Bachelor of Arts with the word Swami and Friends was a sad failure. I don't think Chandran is going to do any better. Again, his next novel is also rejected. Then I hope someone will prove me wrong someday. He was waiting for someone to prove his day. 20 years later, I met Hamish Hamilton in London at a party in the office of The Spectator, where Graham Greene had taken me. Graham Greene invited him to a party in the office of Spectator. There he met Hamish Hamilton. It was a very interesting and cordial meeting, egged on by Greene. Hamilton remembered his comments on my literary future, joked at my own space. And he remarked, "Remember, I was your first publisher and I always feel happy at the thought of it." Next morning, he sent me a copy of his majority, which has extract to celebrate 30 years of his publishing firm generously inscribed for me. Finally, he met Hamish Hamilton. He commented about his literary future and he reminded him that he was his first publisher, like that. The very next morning, he has sent a copy of his Majority. Majority was his book. It contains extracts. It was to celebrate 30 years of his publishing firm. That means he has started that publishing firm 30 years before. It was generously inscribed for R.K. Narayanan. Then, thanks again to Graham Greene's recommendation, The Bachelor of Arts was published by Nelson, fulfilling a fancy I had entertained several years before when a Nelson representative had come from Edinburgh to see my father about the supply of books for our high school library. I had confided to the salesman, "If I write a book, will you ask your company to publish it?" Undoubtedly, he has said and given me his card. Then, only because of Graham Greene's recommendation, his next work, The Bachelor of Arts, was published. It was by Nelson. You know how he came to know about Nelson? A Nelson representative had come from Edinburgh to see his father about the supply of the books for their high school library. Then at that time, Narayanan confided to the salesman, "If I write a book, will you publish?" "Definitely," he said. "Undoubtedly, yes." Then he gave his card. From that, he got the number of Nelson and he contacted. And his next novel, Bachelor of Arts, was published.